Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashanah Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners that look like the heathen nations, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this was a video that was sent to me by Sayadja the Edomite, the water to their sister. And I watched it, and it's a quick video. It's only like 3.5 minutes long, but he says a lot. And I don't want to say too much because I've gotten strikes and things for no apparent reason, because they'll say medical misinformation when I didn't say anything medically at all. I just read a scripture or two. So I got to be careful what I say, and but I'm just going to let, Esau's tongue fall upon himself, and because they are clearly divided, and we all know that a house divided cannot stand, according to the scriptures, and they are completely divided, and they're falling. But it says vaccine mandate unconstitutional with a question mark. And, I don't know if they're still doing that, but when I was coming out of grade school, you couldn't go to high school until you learned the Constitution. The Constitution was very, very important. But, they also used to teach civil law in the schools, and they don't anymore, because I've come to the understanding that a well-informed public is not what they need, because when it comes to criminality, like and draconian measures which are being done that are completely unconstitutional, and the average American, if they knew and understood how their rights were being violated, American cities, every city hall in every major city would be on fire by now, in every governor's office, at least those who are doing these things, because you got a lot of governors standing up against this. Matter of fact, let's get a scripture. That wasn't going to be my first scripture, but those insurrections are coming, man. Boy, are they coming. And all this is happening, too, during a time of a food shortage when people are starting to go hungry. The food pantries are not able to sustain the amount of people that are coming in now. I was watching a video. It said they went from feeding 100 families weekly to 700. Or monthly, or however they do it, and that's a ridiculous increase, But this is and it's only going to get worse as the months go on. All right, but this is 2 Ezra 15 and 15, and it reads, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men." So, people are going to literally, and the modern day sword is the gun. And this is the most heavily armed country on the face of the earth. All right. Both legal and illegal guns. All right. And everyone that has legal guns has 2 or 3 that's illegal. That's almost a guarantee. All right. According to Esau Edom. But once again, that's a violation of the Constitution, because a lot of these states with all these weird laws about with dealing with the guns said that you're supposed to be able to bear arms, and if anyone who's not a felon, should be able to just own a firearm regardless, simply if you're not a felon. I kind of like that in the state of Indiana. Your driver's license or your state ID is your gun card. Like I said, if you're in good standing with the law, you don't have warrants, and you're not you don't have a criminal past, you should be able to carry a firearm. If you have proven yourself to be, but as my mother used to say when she was amongst us, that sounds too much like right, because these people never do what's right. But anyway, it says 2 Ezra 15 and 15, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, or course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not gonna, they're going to ignore the orders of their kings and princes, and in this case, their presidents and governors and mayors. And people are going to actually fire upon each other, and with the shortage of food and the lack of material because of the supply chain broken, people are going to basically shop at their neighbor's house. All right, and let's grab one more scripture, man, because this is that controlled chaos that's coming. Because even though these states are fighting back lawfully, your government, your presidents, your current administration, they don't give a damn about the law or any of that. I mean, and if you really start paying attention to different things that go on in America on a daily basis, the Constitution is violated all day long, every day in these court systems in order to railroad people to jail and to payments. All right, when you look at the way the taxes are completely illegal, the way the way that they do taxes with the people. All right, and I'm just gonna say something as simple: wages, okay, are not to be taxed. Earnings are to be taxed. And you know who gets earnings? The people who owns this SARS-CoV-19 thing that you're reading on the screen there. All right, there are mass earnings that comes in for that. All right, the person who just loads it up in the truck and drives it and drops it off, that punches a clock to do so, they're earning wages. So people don't, the average American citizen, they don't even understand that. So you're just getting screwed every which way. I'll give you one more example: the whole Title 4D, which people ignorantly call child support. All right, the way that's enforced is completely unlawful and unconstitutional. So the average Americans and most Americans don't understand law, don't read about it, don't ask questions. They just, when they get a letter in the mail, they just allow it to happen and figure, well, and that's going to lead to these insurrections. All right, when people wake up to these things. This is Revelation 6:4, and it reads, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword." Without any further ado, Steve Forbes.
The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has temporarily blocked President Biden's sweeping vaccine mandate. Ultimately, the Supreme Court will throw out this executive order, and rightly so. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent...
And Steve's is clearly red. This is clearly an Edomite. All right? He is not white. The books on the shelf where I'm circling with the arrow are white. His skin is not. So remember, they self-prescribe themselves. See the arrow against his face? They self-prescribe themselves as white. They are the red people, the Edomites that the Bible speaks of. Though they deny it, the evidence is overwhelming that proves that they are. But let's let them continue.
Times. Last September, President Biden issued an executive order to force private sector companies with 100 or more employees to have their workers get vaccinated or be tested weekly and wear face masks. Non-complying employers would face fines of more than $13,000 per violation. Such a sweeping order would set a dreadful